I just talked to myself for about 5 minutes. So welcome to Whittle Talk with James. I think I showed you guys the outside. We'll see. I did not show you guys the snowstorm. Check it out. That's my Forerunner. But we're going to make another spoon this week. A longer spoon and maybe a shallower spoon. But after the video last week, I got a lot of ideas on things to do, on things to say. And one of them is peaks and pits. Peak, best part of the week. Pit, worst part of the week. So I like to start with my pits because I'm an optimistic person and I like to get the bad news out of the way first. You know, just deal with whatever's not so great and then go on to the better stuff. So my pit for last week. Sometimes it is hard for me to come up with a pit because I'm a pretty optimistic person and not a ton of things bother me. Pit last week will be, I guess I was gonna leave for California to pick up my RV. I was gonna go to California to pick up my RV and now there's a snowstorm. Peak, probably the snowstorm. Not every day you get snow and it's really cool to see. It's really pretty. I like taking pictures and going for walks in the snow, so that is my peak in my pit. Let me draw the spoon real quick. We're gonna go for a classic spoon look here today, I think. Oh, now is that a spoon or is that a spoon? That's what we're going to whittle away today. I have a bad memory. I think I'm starting to understand that and acknowledge it. So I'm going to look at my most recent video to see what people recommended I talk about. This one's from Little Horses. Cool trips to national parks, etc., and why they were special. I will gladly tell you guys about my favorite hiking trail that I'll have to look up later. Me, Lee, Jess, and Jess's partner, Sam, all went to Yellowstone and Glacier. And my favorite hike ever, I feel tired already. My favorite hike ever was in Glacier. And I think it was at the main stopping point where you get out and go hiking. But we got out of the car. We had to park kind of far away because it was busy. And we started hiking and you kind of hike up and then it's kind of flat for a while. And then we had to hike down and down and, oh, I want to make the spoon part first. Down and down and down until we were at a lake. And the lake was just so pretty and clear because they're like from glacier snow water, I guess. And it felt very special because also the further you went, it's already getting warm in here. The further you went down the trail, oh, I thought of another hike that was really nice. I'm gonna say it after. It's number 2 on the list. The further you would go down the trail, the less people there would be. So then it felt more and more special because I don't know if I'm the only one, as much as I would love to share experiences with people on hiking trails, it is nice when there's less people. Feels more alone, and like part of going out and hiking is getting away from the hustle and bustle of like everyday life, and part of everyday life for a lot of people includes people. So it was nice as we got further down, less people were there. I'll actually go ahead and put some pictures in because it's my favorite hiking trail. I'll also, when I put the pictures in, I'll say where it was, what trail it was. But we had to hike down to this little lake that you could see like on the whole way down. You're just looking at it and excited to get there. And then we got down to the lake and we sat down and had some snacks and then we went swimming. And there's something a little extra special about swimming in your underwear or like where you're not supposed to be swimming, like swimming outside in a lake. It feels a little extra special, especially if you had to hike there or like you had to do a thing to get there. Like as much as I love swimming pools, the ocean, hiking in the mountains to a lake feels extra special. Also on that trail, we saw a giant mountain goat. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Here it is. This is what it looked like. It was sitting in the trail, and it's definitely one of those things you're not supposed to get close to, but the only way to get through was to go through, so we had to walk by it. Also at Glacier, there was a lot of ground squirrels, which were really cute. Number 2 trail that I've ever been on, I believe it's called Angel Island in San Francisco. And you have to take a ferry to get there. You also have to go to like the world's richest area. Like the houses, the cars, and everything around there was insane. Like the houses were on like a mountainside, it felt like, where you couldn't even see the roads on how they get there or how the houses even remain existing up there. It's kind of beyond belief. But you have to take a ferry to go to Angel Island. And then I think there used to be, I forget what kind of buildings. I want to say they were like not good buildings, like Japanese encampment stuff during the war. I don't know if that's correct or not, but we got there and we started hiking, and you can pretty easily hike to the summit of the island, along the edge of like, not mountains, but like hills. You like walk around and then you go up and you walk on the edges some more. And while we were walking, it was me and my ex, or girlfriend at the time. While we were walking, we ran into deer on the trail, which was really cute. And the whole island just felt like a very magical place. It's like easily, if somebody's visiting San Francisco and they were to ask me, what should I go do? I'm like, if you have a day, you should definitely go to Angel Island. The name is also very fitting, and just go hiking. You can also rent a bike. We ended up renting a bike for even just 30 minutes at the end of the trail to just bike around because you had to wait for the ferry. There also appears to be like some fancy hotels there because the ferries do stop after a certain point. So we kept making a semi-joke of, well, we could get stuck here. Angel Island though, number 2 on the best places to hike list. Yeah, I really like hiking. It's walking plus outside, plus places you've probably not been to. Even if you have been there, it's always different. And it's like, sometimes you're hoping to run into an animal that you didn't run into last time, or you're hiking with someone new, a new friend, and lots of talking is had on hikes. So one of my favorite things to do is talk. And there's plenty of time to talk, especially on a really long hike. Like sometimes hikes are like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. Don't mind that. Like you just have time to talk, and that's all there is time to do is talk. And I also think when you walk and talk, your brain is working better. And you come up with more ideas, more things to say, more fun questions. I've always thought about doing, I need to put a glove on. I'm gonna cut my fingers off. This glove feels small. I have big hands. This is a large, and it is not quite big enough. I really would like to do a hiking podcast or a walk and talk of sorts. So maybe one day the whittling will have to take a break and I'll have to go walk and talk. Walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it. A lot of song references popping into my head. But those are definitely my favorite 2 hikes. Yeah, just where they were, who they were with, the things that were seen. That's the same way with like sometimes a hike can be a really normal hike, but then it's really special because of what you see. You see something that you usually don't get to see. Like you can just be taking a normal walk around your neighborhood, well, like my neighborhood. And like one time I was walking and I saw a raccoon and a possum nose to nose with each other, just hanging out. And see, like I've walked around the neighborhood a billion times and that was the first time that had ever happened. So I remember it and it was extra special to me. So those are my 2 favorite hikes. Leave it in the comments down below where your favorite hike was and why it was your favorite. Next thing, somebody also asked to hear more about my hobbies. Let me talk about some of my past hobbies first before we go to current. This segment could be long. I'm a big hobby guy. I like to have a thing to do and to get better at and to wrap my head around. It's not a hobby anymore, but maybe someday soon it will be. It is cycling. I used to go cycling. One of my first big purchases, I used to work in a warehouse for 56 to 64 hours a week or something like that. And one of my first big purchases was a Trek road bike from the Trek store. Me and my friend Jay, who I grew up with, one day when we were like still in high school, decided to get on some bikes and bike down the Loveland Bike Trail, which for people that don't know, is a bike trail that just kind of goes straight for what feels like forever. Like you can hop on it at Loveland, bike for 50 miles, and then you're in Yellow Springs. And then you can bike back. So that's 100 miles. But I remember we took 2 bikes. I don't think I had a bike at the time. I think I borrowed one out of his garage. And we biked down to the Loveland Bike Trail and then just biked as far as we could go and then as far as we could go back. And I have a large, I want to say hankering for seeing how long I can do something when it's tough. It's that like proving to yourself sort of thing, where nobody's asking you to do this crazy thing, but you're like, I want to see if I can do it. I'm asking myself, is this something I can do? And I like that feeling a lot. Hold on, I'm trying to get the tip of this spoon out of here. So I remember we did that and we were both like, that was fun. Why is this being un momento? I like to push myself and see how far I can go physically and mentally. And I'm not the strongest physically. Mentally though, I think I can go through a lot of things, and cycling is one of them because like as you're cycling, it's the same with running. You just want to stop. And then I tell myself, well, there's no stopping allowed. And then I go, well, okay, no stopping. That's fine. And then I just keep on going until it's over. Like there's no way out but up or through. So cycling was a hobby of mine for a while. I had bought a road bike a couple years ago and got back into it, and then I have sold it again since. But with RV life, I think it would be fun to have a bike on the back to go explore places at a nice leisurely pace. So I'm probably gonna acquire a road bike once more. One of my other hobbies that I used to really be into was cars. If you even look further back on this channel, there's me doing car things. There's videos of me working on cars and like doing car things, and I've owned a lot of cars in my life. I think I counted one time and the number was 26, 27 different cars, which is crazy. Well, when I say different cars, some of them were the same. Not the same one, but the same kind. Like I've owned, oh my gosh, I'm ruining the spoon. This glove makes my hand feel funny. I think I've owned 3 or 4 Miatas. So like I've owned multiple Miatas, but I've never the same one more than once. But that used to be my hobby. Let me see if the other glove fits better. It's kind of a bummer these gloves are too small. Water. I don't know what I was saying. But cars were my thing. And I'll post a couple pictures of a couple cars I've owned. My favorite car, oh, I'll have to see if I can find a picture of it, was a 1989 BMW E30. 4-door, red, and it was the cutest, nicest, cool car I've ever owned. It was so nice. Everything worked, which was really cool. And BMWs at that time were really high tech. So it sounds funny, but like it had cruise control, which is like kind of a big deal. Like my Prius now does not have cruise control, but that's mostly my fault. I just have not fixed it because I don't need it. But I'll see if I can find a picture of that. I used to be into drifting cars, and when I say into, I did it for a little while on the street, which you're not supposed to do. Obviously, I would find like places that were safe and empty and no one was there and nothing was around. But I used to enjoy doing that late at night with my friend Jesse, who I did most of the car stuff with. Gotta chunk some of this off. I'm wearing sweatpants, which I never wear. But it's a snow day. I already messed up. Right here. What a bummer. I think I can fix that though. I can't wait to do this when it's warm outside, and I can do this outside. How nice will that be? This is a very rough draft. It's got a lump. But yeah, I used to own a automotive shop with Jesse. Originally, it just started as a shop space for us to do work on our own cars. And then our brains said, well, if we're gonna be renting a shop space anyway, we might as well offer to work on people's cars. So we did. And it went pretty well for a while. We had a really small shop space at first, enough to fit like 2 cars plus room to work on them, kind of. Our rent was only $500 a month though, which is crazy. But we then moved to a bigger shop. And when I say bigger, oh, I forget how big it was, but we ended up renting 2 shop spaces. because we could, and they were available, and we didn't want to rent one and then wish we had gotten the other one. So we rented 2 big shop spaces, which was really nice. We had rooms, one side could just store cars, like customers' cars that were waiting to be worked on, while we worked on cars in the other portion of the shop. But my hobby became work, and work became unfun. I'm pretty big on enjoying what I do, and I'm big on being happy. If I'm unhappy for an extended amount of time, I will change my circumstances, if at all possible, to make myself happy. It's like, I guess probably the most important thing to me is being happy. And I have a lot of control over that, whether it's through situations or how I am going through or handling a situation. And I was becoming unhappy. So I stopped doing the automotive stuff. That's when I started working for Lee, is when I stopped doing the automotive work. She also saw I was unhappy, so offered working for her as a solution to how I was feeling. But I do really like cars. I think they're really cool. I like working on cars somewhat, not really anymore for other people, but like for myself, I do get some sort of joy out of it and figuring things out and wrenching. It's like big metal, expensive Legos. And then it also comes up a lot to where I'm shocked at what I do know, because it feels so far removed from what I do now. I'm sure some other people have experienced this, where you do one thing for a really long time. Like I also used to run tire discounters. I worked in the automotive for Walmart, where they do like oil changes and tires, and I managed that also. And now I have nothing to do with that world. And when things come up and people ask questions and I know what's going on, or like I can point them in the right direction, I'm still shocked at what I do know. And I'm like, that feels so far removed from who I am now, but it's still information in my head. Leave a comment down below if that happens to you with something. It's like I did it for so long that it's just, I can't unlearn a lot of it. So I'm not gonna lie, carving makes me sweaty. I feel hot. And like it's so cold in here and outside. Whoa, that could have been bad. It might still be bad. So cars was a really big part of my life. I recently sold my 1986 Porsche 911. Here's a picture of it. And I bought it as a rolling shell, which means no engine in it, no transmission, pretty much nothing in it was working. It was just a shell. And you can put all the pieces in it and put it back together to have a running car. And it was my dream car at the time. And that was the most affordable way to acquire and have my dream car. So I bought it. I did all of the work mostly by myself. Like obviously my friends helped me. But like I didn't take it to a shop to have things done. I figured out all the stuff for the engine and transmission. My friends helped me make engine mounts, which was probably one of the harder tasks. I always enunciate so much, tasks, for making the whole thing come together. So they helped me with that. And my friend Josh painted it for me in exchange for me. In exchange, I gave him a car. Coffee time. Followed up by water. That was my dream car. And then kind of towards the end of finishing it, I was starting to realize that was not my dream car anymore. The more I started to drive it as it was becoming finished, like once the engine was in and things like that, I realized it was not a very fun driving experience. And it was uncomfortable and not even fun to drive. Like, it just looked good. That's all it was. It just looked good, and that's not what I wanted from it. My dream car, ideally would be fun to drive and look good. So I sold it, which is also what let me buy the RV. So I got out of cars. I'm kind of, I guess, officially out now. I still have all my automotive tools. Like, there's no point in selling them. They just stay at my friend Jesse's farm. Like, tools are a hard thing to reacquire. Check this out. This is going fast. Tools are a hard thing to reacquire, so I think it's best to just keep them. Also, I do intend to continue working on my own cars. So the most expensive part about working on cars is owning the tools. So I'll just keep them. But that portion of my life is kind of done for now. I can see a world in which I get back into cars as a hobby. And I guess in a weird way, the RV is gonna be that for me. I do have some work I need to do on it. And some of the work is car related work. Oh my gosh, this is going so bad. I always struggle. I've been struggling with the top spoon part. This part's easy. This is just a stick. Cute stick. This part though is a little tough to get accurate, even if I'm trying to go real delicate with it. I think after this spoon, I'm gonna have to watch a spoon video. I have to give in. The RV though, my future residence for an unknown amount of time. I was going to go get it this weekend into next week, but snowstorm said otherwise. I even was debating and looking into leaving before the snowstorm, because I was like, well, if I'm gonna be snowed in here, I might as well leave. And after doing some research, the snowstorm is exactly the whole path of where I would be driving. I would have ended up in it no matter what. And that's not, that's a bad one. Why do I? And that is not what I'm trying to do, so I opted to stay, which gave me time to do this, to make this video, and then also after this, I'm probably gonna work on the house some. But I think on Tuesday, I am going to start my journey out west, the big drive. Should be fun. And then I'm excited to get the RV back. I wanna work on it. Man, if anybody wants a really poorly made spoon, I'm your guy. Oh, I didn't go to my current hobby. Magic the Gathering. Oh, what a hobby, an all-consuming hobby. Right now, my current hobby is Magic the Gathering. I've been playing at least for 3 years now. I got into it with my childhood friend Jay and our friend Bill, who lived down the street. We all lived down the street from each other. But that's where I got into it originally. And then about 3 years ago, Jay said, hey, you want to come over and draft? That's where you take packs of Magic cards, you open them, take a couple cards out, pass it around, and then you battle based off of the deck you built. And I said, sure. And I was really confused on how to play because when Jay and I used to play, we definitely did not play, oh, that was bad. We definitely did not play correctly. I was reintroduced that way and I had a hoot, a holler. I had fun. And then I dove in deep to Magic the Gathering. I was back in full effect as a grown adult with grown adult money, which is not good. Oh, that's not good. Sorry, I'm freaking out because I about obliterated the spoon. And then my friend Jesse also used to play and now does play, Card Jesse. And that made it also easier to get into the hobby because he had a friend that helped him build a deck, Jonathan, who owns the shop that I help run conventions with. And Jonathan now is one of my best friends. And I help him on the weekends, usually out of town, to sell cards at conventions, which has been really fun. It's helped me explore and go places I wouldn't. At least the amount of times is higher because a lot of that stuff happens on the West Coast, which I really like. I'm a big California fan now. So that's been a lot of fun. Recently, the format that everybody plays is called Commander. It's a 4-person format, and you have, I'll explain it very quickly. You have one card that sits out of your deck, that's your commander, and then all your other cards are different. It's called a singleton format, and the 4 of you battle, and then the last person remaining wins. That's what most people play. I recently have been playing a format called Pre-Modern. That is a format where you only play with cards printed between like 94 to 2001. You can use newer versions of the card, but it originally needed to be printed between that period. And that's what I've been playing recently, and that's a 1v1 format, and that's how Magic used to be played all the time. I have a very dumb amount of money in Magic, but recently I've been selling a lot of my cards because I have a dumb amount of money in Magic. And I'm trying to just play a couple of the decks that I have. I have multiple decks. And just accept that those are the decks I'm gonna play and that's how I'm going to have my fun. But if you want a fun game to play, Magic the Gathering is definitely that, at least for me. I'll go into it a little bit more another time. Like, I'll even show you guys like my cards and my decks and my favorite ones. But for now, I think we'll just leave it at that. I'm gonna go silent mode as we're getting close to the end of the spoon. And I'm gonna try to make it a little nicer at the top end. Like, unfortunately, this part, the wood, did not cooperate. So I don't really know how to fix that, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to just make the spoon smaller. Oh, like, I guess that's my fault. Don't mind the dirt. Like that's my fault, I guess. I don't know. Like I guess I'm cutting the wrong way on the grain. Ah, I did it again. It's for sure my fault. Like, I could use this as a spoon. Ow. I'm gonna grab sandpaper and try to sand this. But I'm gonna try to sand this real quick and see what happens. Be right back. Sanding is the way of the future. Is this still on? Yeah. Check this thing out. It's a spoon. I made this. Look at it. It's still a little wonky at the top here. But you know what you could do with this thing? Ow, ow. How cool is that? That feels fun. It's a little wonky. Oh, what? It's got wabi sabi. I'm happy with this one. It's cute. Regular spoon. Yeah, I'm happy and excited to go get the RV. I think I'm gonna leave on Tuesday. Today is Sunday. More coffee. Today is Sunday. It's supposed to snow today and tonight-ish, so maybe Monday it's cleared up. Tuesday I leave. Leave it in the comments down below what you want me to talk about. I can also go into more detail on anything. I also wouldn't mind, I kind of would like to talk about, I feel more engaged when I'm talking about an idea or a thought or a problem where a solution needs to be had than sometimes I do recalling my own life experiences. Maybe it's because I've already been through them. I also think I'm not very good at retelling stories. I'm not a storyteller. I think I'm more of a yapper in terms of like, hey, did you hear about this? And then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What would I do in that situation? Or like, how do I think that should go? Or like, how would I change this or change that? So if you have anything, leave it in the comments down below. This is Whittle Talk. It's hard not to make it sound like I'm talking baby talk when I say Whittle Talk with James. But thank you for being here. Please make sure to subscribe. And in the next video, I think you'll see me driving the RV back across the country. I'm gonna drive straight to California and straight back. So thanks for being here. Oh, look at this spoon. It's so cool. I am really happy with this one. The other one was cute too, but this one, look at it. It's just a spoon. Oh, I have to name it. This one will be named Paula. So say hello to Paula. Paula the spoon. Oh, this is a nice spoon. This is better than the spoon I have. I only have one spoon in the house right now, and this one's better. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for being here. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram. Bye.